Okay.
First timer here, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, you don't got a first time. you say you first timer?
Yeah.
Welcome to the lounge. It's not RLM today. It is Matthew Thomas running the show.
AKA A-Cups.
AKA who?
A-Cups.
All right, thank you very much. Let's run around the intro, everybody. First and foremost, I
I'm Monroe.
was
Special
going
guest.
to intro you, man. What do you mean?
Okay,
Give me a
sorry.
second.
You said first and foremost, so I thought that
And then
was like, and you pointed.
You said you can't,
Okay,
you can't
I'll
just
back
jump
up.
in.
Take it back.
Let me take it back.
And scene. Right.
First and foremost, we got my man, my partner, my guy, my brother. We got Monroe coming through to kick it with us. We got a lot of shit to talk about. We're going to have some
Yes,
fun.
sir.
After we go around, we're going to talk about how we met. We're going to get that in a second.
Yeah.
Next, coming straight from Oak Cliff.
Oak Cliff.
That's
Straight
my
from
hood.
Oak Cliff repping.
That's my hood.
Right on.
The genre definition.
That would be
you
me.
know,
Chef definition.
AKA Triple OG.
Yeah.
AKA you get out of line, you might get cussed out. AKA AKA my facial expressions ain't personal. It's just how I feel.
Right the fuck on. Right the fuck
And last
on.
but not least, we got the host, the CEO,
Host with
the
the most.
guy, the host with the bun, with the fly bun,
Hey,
the bun and the headband. RLM Malpica.
AKA
Sesame seed.
Sesame seed.
Sesame Seed in the house, baby. What's up?
It's so whack I couldn't even remember. Like, you know, when we
That's bitterness, bro. That's straight bitterness.
Hater.
Hating.
So we doing things a little different today, Monroe, because you're here. You know, you're my
Okay.
man. And I don't
I
know
appreciate
if
that.
Ramon was just feeling lazy or what, but he was like, yo, you run the show today? And I said, yes.
Yeah.
So,
I need a day off, bro.
and you deserve
It's hard work. It's hard work being this
You
damn
deserve
good.
it. Now,
Like
last time
Sidney
one of
Dean
my...
in this bitch.
I'm watching that.
Sidney
I
Dean,
feel
bro.
like they're going to be drinking water and
White
we're
man
going to be
can't
drinking
jump.
And we're going to be
tequila.
drinking, yeah.
Hard work.
They're going to be
Making something
drinking
like
water.
this.
We're going to be drinking tequila, and we're going to see what's getting ready to happen.
Oh, shit.
But, yo, let's plug the bottles real quick. Usually people plug stuff at the end, but I just want people to know what we're doing. This is the smoothest tequila I've ever had in my life. I'm super excited about it.
Concur.
And I need y'all, once I start getting a little spicy, somebody give me the wink. give me the, you
You're
need to
going to have
relax.
to yank his ass off like they did on Apollo back in the day.
Right.
Send the clown out.
Sandman Sims come out here tap dancing and shit.
Then they play some funky ass music too. What was that music they played?
It was terrible.
It was terrible.
All right,
It was a good show though. Shout out.
Highly entertaining.
I need to hold. I'm the eight. This the eight mic. Is this mic one and mic eight?
Technically it's two, but today for your for you it's one.
It's set up.
So let me kick off this one mic. First question is, man, you know, as we get older, styles change, you know, and you have to be able to adapt with the times. You have definitely adapted with the times. Let's just start there. Talk to me about the strap.
Okay, this is my
What we doing?
MCM male crossbody.
Did you get in the male section? That's the first question.
Yes.
Okay.
It's called a male crossbody.
Yeah, he didn't mean mail like post office mail.
Right. Like
saying?
MALE.
Damn, I didn't even think about that.
And
Like a
really,
mailbag.
Right.
What made me get it is because I saw somebody wearing a Gucci one, a really
Probably
big
LeBron.
NFL guy wearing a Gucci one, and I said, I have to have one of those because he looks cool wearing it. But I couldn't afford the Gucci one, so I went with the MCM one instead.
So couple things. I feel like he gave you the confidence to rock it because you seen him do.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of differences. Like, you know, it's first of all, if he in the NFL, he was
Yeah.
kind of who's gonna check him. I think that's the
Right?
that's the
difference.
first question. No, I'm hating. I think it's nice. I can't do it. I can't pull it
You
off.
might be able to pull it off.
Bro, you don't know until you try. Why don't
Give
you
it a
try it
try.
out, bro?
You want to try it on?
Oh fuck it, y'all gonna gas me.
I mean, you the first dude that was rocking pink. You know what I'm
First,
saying?
first of all, Killer Cam was the first. You know, I'm gonna pay.
Oh,
homage.
that's facts.
You know, Killer
So-
Cam was the first dude that was rocking pink.
Dipset.
So I'm old school. I'm a bag dude. I love bags. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, can I put my? I
Bro,
can rock it
that
how I
that
wanna
looks good
rock
on you, man.
It
It
does,
does.
actually.
It looks quite
Y'all
natural.
gassing me?
That with your A-cup shirt?
Yes.
Shit.
Next episode, A Cup shirts is coming out.
The only thing is you probably should switch shoulders so that the click isn't behind you, but it still looks good on you, bro.
That's good, man.
All right, I feel good. All right, well, I'm just gonna keep this here for the whole show.
Yeah, let's
If
do
you're cool
it.
with that. So
That way you can see my tequila shirt.
There it is. What is it?
I need a muse to get.
Man, I love that shit.
Yeah, that's kind of fire. I'm drinking.
Cause we all creatives here in the house today, man. That's
I wore it
wonderful.
specifically for this.
That's beautiful, man. So the first time I met you was at the at one of our films.
In the church.
Yeah,
The church? Yes,
yeah,
the
it's in the
church.
church. Yeah, man.
That was a long time ago, actually.
Bruh.
He doesn't remember because he's getting old, but that was the second time.
I remember.
Because you came to the original. You came to Beyond the Bridge.
I did.
You came
in the
to
movie
the
theater.
original.
You came to the
In the
theater.
movie theater.
Okay. Shout
Yes, I
out.
did.
I was there.
Shout out Beyond the Bridge. Shout out Lynn.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I was telling him how we actually met, prior to that. So let's just get into that because it's super interesting. So you and I met through your girlfriend at the time, who was my coworker. Mm-hmm. So if anybody that works in an office setting, if you've ever worked in an office setting, anytime one of your female friends is talking about bringing their significant other to a happy hour, you're like,
This nigga gonna think I want to be with her.
yeah,
They
like
gonna think we flirting at work.
Right.
yeah, straight up, because it's. I think what goes into it, maybe a little, insecurity, but also it's just territorial. Like naturally, it's like that territorial sort of thing. All right, who she in here flirting with? Your mind goes in tons of places. So I bring it up because I've never met like a guy from one of my female friends and actually maintained a relationship. And, I remember even when we first hit off, I was like, he cool, but I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Everybody be acting funny. So I actually waited to the next day to see, like, if, like, y'all had gotten into an argument or something like that. Because, sometimes the guy, you won't say nothing there. He act like he's super cool. As soon as they get in the car, why y'all so cool?
Then she come to work running her
the
mouth.
space?
So is he the work husband?
Right. So,
Or
so
is
this
she
motherfucker
the
you talking
work
about all the time.
So, do y'all go to lunch together? That kind of shit.
Work husbands. Let's just transition to work. We were not work husband
Y'all
and wife.
weren't.
No, we weren't.
Y'all weren't.
No.
Yeah, you weren't.
But y'all did go to Twin Peaks together a few times.
By yourself.
Did she tell you that? Or you just guessed it. I don't know.
Was there?
No, we all did.
Was there alcohol involved?
No, we went to we went and had all of us. We had lunch all the time. It was,
Twin Peaks, that's where they half-ass naked, right?
Yup.
I just go there for the food. So I don't, I
For
just
those
go
of
to
you who
the-
don't know A-Cups, like he is like the quintessential like waitress whore. Like
First of all,
it don't matter what restaurant you go to. It could be the pizza shop. You go get a slice, he gonna flirt with whoever
See,
handing the pizza
okay.
to him.
allow me to retort.
Floor is yours, my
I got
man.
manners. My mother taught me manners.
That's what they call it, huh?
I am polite and I am friendly, and if someone misconstrues that as flirting, that's their problem.
Sometimes
It's their problem.
sometimes manners and mannerisms can get misconstrued.
It can. But you know what? Anytime anyone's ever gotten the wrong idea about me, you know what I did?
What'd you do?
I set them straight.
Okay.
I set them straight. Don't.
Okay.
Even the waitresses?
Yeah.
Set 'em.
And-
Because you want that bill to come in cheap. So
Would you?
sometimes
Did
it's
you want to? Yeah. I'm
Well,
sorry.
take it.
there is a thing, but okay, that's a good thing though. Like to flirt and be friendly and shit like that. Because everybody knows if you can go and make a friend, a bartender, waitress, whatever, and depending on the vibe, like you may get a free drink here, a free drink there.
Right.
So in a sense, you're using your powers of flirtiness, or your powers of light skin, to achieve alcohol prowess.
I like to just say it's camaraderie. It's mutual respect.
Okay.
It's a lot of mutual respect. A lot of assholes out here, and me using that to my advantage, that doesn't mean that I'm flirting. It just means that I understand what the market is like.
Right. So you're compensating for all the other dudes in the world that treat waitresses like shit.
See, now you talk.
He's Captain Save a Waitress, basically.
They're really selling you here.
Yeah.
They're really selling
Oh,
you
they're
here.
assholes. They're cracking jokes.
Okay,
They're
all right.
freaking terrible.
I mean, being in the service industry, I could see where you're coming from with that. You know what I'm saying? Because you want proper service.
Exactly.
If service, yeah, if that's what you want to call it.
Well, I mean, being a
I
single
think
man,
there's different kinds of service.
my service would be different.
Right.
Like hitting on the waitress.
Have you two gentlemen decided to stop so I can get back to my?
Continue.
This is Mike 1.
Me and Chef, we having a whole different show.
Like 2.1.
This is off the rails because I got an interesting question.
My bad.
Somebody brought up work husbands, work wives, work husbands, shit like that. Is that cheating?
No.
Oh, that's a
Well,
good conversation.
Let's have it.
No.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
No. Okay.
All right.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
So it's parameters. It's parameters.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to make sure that you have boundaries set. But
No. Don't not boundaries. Don't give us that vague answer. What do you mean? Like, no, give me some real shit.
I mean, like, there's got to be boundaries set. You know what I'm saying? Because in a work husband, work whatever relationship, especially like, well, see, I never worked a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Off the
You've
job.
been living your best life. Then.
You know what I'm saying? That's what,
Well, no, but restaurants. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Things of that
Atypical
nature.
hours.
Right.
Shit like that. Like we ain't sitting at no desk. Like you know what I'm saying?
Wait, first of all, you say he just sound like he just shit on everybody sitting
Yeah,
there.
yeah, we ain't no
Sitting at a
motherfucker.
desk.
No, I'm not saying.
Like
I'm
these
not saying that.
like these
I ain't
other
no
square
desk.
See,
motherfuckers.
my attention span won't allow me to sit at a desk and do things of that nature. I got to be outside. I need to see a window. I need to be able to go outside and
Respect
smoke and
that.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like that kind of thing. And then my attention span ain't long enough. I can't just sit in front of a computer. Like I'll be dozing off like a motherfucker.
I do it now.
Or
You know what I was about to
yeah.
say? It sounds like he naming problems that everybody has. And you just these is normal problems.
I have fallen asleep many a times in the office.
Yeah,
Many a times.
I don't know. So there's got to be boundaries because you're spending so much time together, and I think it can easily slide into a kind of cheating role if you're coming in and you're talking about problems at home and you're expressing the inner shit like, oh man, my old lady, she made macaroni and cheese and meatloaf. I want some fried chicken last night. You know what I'm saying? And it's issues and it's problems, and then y'all find yourself consoling each other.
Well, let me ask you. Well, good point. But can friends not console each other? So everything. So from what you said,
Okay.
let me
Yeah.
You want to go? Let me walk you back. So far, you said the boundaries are you shouldn't
Got it.
come home and discuss your problems, which to a degree you shouldn't discuss like the real intimate problems and whatnot. But if you just because somebody is of the opposite sex, is it cheating if you come in, say you're both married, you both have been married for years, so you kind of understand like what married life is actually like. Is it cheating if you come in and you're like, yo, you bounce ideas off of one of your coworkers? Just because they're the opposite side of opposite sex. Is that
what kind of ideas?
Well, explain the scenarios, but yo, this is how I handled the situation.
I mean, like, if you're crossing the line talking about intimate shit or
So is that the line? So what's the line? So when you say
that's where
intimate shit,
So what's intimate shit like?
the
You mean
boundaries and
sexual?
shit, like, you know what I'm
she ain't
saying,
getting
like,
no ass in like 2
Yeah.
weeks, that type shit.
yeah, like, well,
I had head in 8 years.
yeah, situations like, man, we ain't had no sex in like 4 weeks and shit, and blah 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 blah. One thing goes to the other and shit. Like,
But you keep saying one thing goes into other. Like you're kind of pushing it forward. Like, okay, this is what it can lead to.
Yeah,
but are those
basically.
conversations considered cheating though?
well, I mean,
Obviously, if it leads to y'all going out to lunch and getting a hotel at fucking La Quinta, that's cheating. But I'm saying like
Yeah.
the precursor, like the pre-action, the pre-game of it.
I mean,
Is that cheating?
Shit, it's borderline. It's close.
Is
Cause you texting, you know what I'm saying?
well, when you just introduced something new.
Well, you introduced a whole new piece. Now you're talking about texting outside of work. Now, if we texting outside of work about what's happening in my relationship or your relationship, now we might be crossing
Lines,
We might be
boundaries,
crossing
okay.
some lines, and I say that very sparingly because I don't think that you have to cross a line, but it could lead to like, oh well, can you meet me for drinks so I can talk about it in person. Now that's when you like cross the line. But I think you kind of got to be careful because just because she's your work wife or in her situation work husband, like I've worked with a lot of older women that I saw a TikTok about that, like, oh, like being in corporate America will have your best friend being Miss Debbie, that's 65 years old. Like, and if I'm coming in to Miss Debbie, being like, man, Miss Debbie, I mean, I ain't had no ass in a month. Miss Debbie, I mean, she gonna tell you the facts, but you don't have to worry about going
Miss
out
Debbie.
with her for drinks and
Right.
taking her to La Quinta.
But you don't know what Miss
hey.
Debbie's thinking.
Yeah, Miss Debbie might blow your back out. she might be waiting on a chance to blow your back out. You know what I'm saying? And then take you
Tell
to
her
go eat
friend.
ice cream and shit. Stop crying. Eat this chocolate chip ice cream. You just go home and take a shower. You'll be all right in the morning.
She got a cup of coffee and bagels for you waiting every morning.
You know what I'm
She
Just waiting on your desk.
You sit in the corner like, I can't believe what just happened.
But I feel like if I went home to my wife or my girlfriend, like, yeah, Miss Debbie, she bring me a bagel every morning. And she was like, why that bitch bring you bagels? I'd be like, I know you not getting mad over Miss Debbie bringing me
shit.
bagels.
But they will.
Hey.
But it can.
Hey,
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I've
Yeah,
seen it
it's a
happen too.
realistic thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Especially if they ain't provide no bagel.
let me paint a picture for you and get your. I want to get your opinion because just knowing you have more of a I would say not a broad opinion, but you're very open minded is what I picked up over the years. So we'll go back to the scenario. If you are on the other, say your girlfriend, say your girlfriend, wife, whoever, say her work husband, say they sit next to each other and they talk about their problems. Yo, this is what happened, and they give each other like, is it a scenario to where a work wife or work husband can give legitimate advice that is helpful in the relationship? Like we all we're territorial, right? So why are you sometimes we can be like, why are you so close to a member of the opposite sex? But when you stop thinking of people as like property, I think it can be normal if you trust whoever you're with and you trust them to respect the boundaries, because it does sound funny, but would you have a problem? So say, all right, your girlfriend's work husband, he brings her, they switch off and bring each other breakfast every day.
I wouldn't have a problem
Is
with
that
that.
a problem? Okay, for
No.
you, do you have a problem with that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean,
He's
just-
like, I'm a chef.
I mean,
I
cause
make
like,
her breakfast every morning.
yeah, like I don't need no man feeding my old lady. Shit. Period.
What if it's just a
Not
couple?
no
What if it's
fucking frosted flakes. Not no dick. Nothing.
just a cup of coffee? So say they switch off every day. She brings coffees on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He brings it to her on Tuesday and Thursday. Do you have a problem with that?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I just don't feel like that's cool. I mean, y'all going out on coffee dates and shit.
So now you say I went to a coffee date. No,
Right,
he
I mean,
comes to the office.
Well, I mean,
He dropped it on her desk,
Y'all went out on
and he
coffee
sits his punk ass down.
Fuck all that. It's coffee one day, it's lattes the next, and then you're somewhere eating some pussy for lunch. No, I'm cool. I don't even.
All right, we got your answer.
I think it's a gray area because like there's a few things that I look at in this whole situation. Number one, intent. Like, what's the intent? Like, I know how I operate. I know how most men operate.
How do most men operate?
Like, look, I mean, I'm not saying men can't have females as friends.
Tried to get him.
Right, I got you. I know, I'm not saying men can't have females as friends, but most of the time they're, look, we're simple beings. You know what I'm saying? Men are, we're conditioned to be very simple in the things that we want. And if the intent behind it is meaningless, then it's different. And I'm not just talking about the intent of your significant other. I'm talking about the intent of the other motherfucker. So you don't know the intent of that person. Now, look, I've been there before. Your girl's like, oh, it's no big deal. It's just coffee. Yeah, but that coffee from him might be backed up by some penis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But great point. So I don't want to interrupt you. But
Yeah,
just to play off of that part. So
Right.
say, all right, he's bringing this coffee to her. In the back of his mind, this is going to lead to something.
Right.
In her mind, it's just free coffee, and Starbucks is expensive.
Right.
So,
Until somebody fuck up.
So what? But why does someone have to? What if she doesn't have any interest in the male?
Because listen, I'll answer that, and it kind of goes with my gray area answer. It's energy, bro. And look, Ramon, RL always talking about motherfucking energy. Listen, everything is fucking energy, right? Yeah, it's meaningless today, but you keep getting them coffees, and if just based on things that happen in life, now that person isn't just James who brings me coffee. Now he's James, my friend. And then, next it's not just coffee anymore. Now it's breakfast, right? And then after that, it leads to certain things. And if his intent is, oh shit, if I stay around long enough, if I play this game long enough, maybe somebody slips up, I get in there. Everyone has their weak moments.
Yeah.
Now, comes down to your relationship, how much you trust your woman, how long you guys been in a relationship. Me and my wife now, she can get coffee, she can get breakfast, she can get catering, whatever the fuck. I'm not worried. Me and her are in a place where that's never going to be an issue.
All right. Now,
But if you're fresh in a relationship, it's rocky, it's not perfect, it's not your quote unquote twin flame, soulmate, kindred spirit, all them things, then you're gonna have
That's
to
a
worry
good point.
about this.
Yeah, there's cracks in the foundation.
Right.
A dick
And
can
you
slip
don't
in.
need and you don't need, somebody else, stepping in there.
all right. I want to circle back to this. I want to circle back to this topic because we came up with a couple of things. Like I think cheating is something that is everything that we've been talking about has led to just the thought or the idea of cheating.
Right.
So, a couple different scenarios for you. Mm-hmm. You've been in a relationship, let's say 4 years. Mm-hmm. All right, so y'all know each other incredibly well. Is cheating for you? Would cheating be a deal breaker?
If she cheated,
If she cheated on you, would cheating be a deal breaker? Now, does the reason that she cheated matter? Or are you just saying,
Yes.
you know what? Are you confident that you can just work through it?
Can we define cheating?
yeah, define cheating.
Define cheating.
I thought it had a pretty simple definition of what
Well,
cheating
So
I mean,
is.
did
we
she fuck
already-
somebody else?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we
Fuck
already
somebody
explained.
else.
Yeah.
That's not
Wait, what'd you say? Fuck somebody
fuck
else?
somebody
Yeah,
else.
So okay, so that's
so the act
fuck-
of fucking somebody else. So
Right.
that could be fucking a prostitute versus fucking Debbie at work versus.
It don't matter who she fucked. If
Okay.
you fuck somebody else, it's cheating.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Period.
all.
That's it.
Just throwing it out there.
That's-
Some,
okay.
people, some people have different definitions.
Right.
That'd be crazy. Oh, you fucked a prostitute, so that's not cheating. No, motherfucker, you still cheated.
Hey, you'd be surprised what motherfuckers use as justification for cheating.
You would.
It was 151
wanna
miles
say-
away. You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting because but if you break, all right, we'll just say a prostitute. All right, so a husband, lonely, not getting anything from his wife, he goes and has sex with a prostitute that he's never gonna see again. He's careful.
He's careful.
He's careful.
Well,
All right, shit's out there.
Right.
I mean, what's the possibility he go get a prostitute, knock her down, and never see her again?
I think it's high.
Unless it's some bad
Depends on how
sex.
much she costs.
Yeah. Okay. So now we can talk about variables, right?
Yeah.
So unless the sex is really fucking whack, it's the reason that you went and got the prostitute in the first place.
Because it was easy.
Okay. Well, you might come into that reason again in 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, that's
So
a good point.
So now you familiar with the prostitute pussy. You know what I'm saying? So now it's an easy go-to. So, you tripping?
Now she a contact in
You
your
don't want
phone
to make me
under, like,
macaroni and
Julio or
cheese
something.
and meatloaf.
I'll go to my prostitute.
I call up Jesse Ann.
Eddie.
I call up Jesse
Eddie.
Ann.
That's sick. Treat your prostitute like a work wife and shit. Like call her talking about
You know what I'm
problems and
saying?
shit like that.
I want to set up an appointment.
I ate that
Tuesday at
mac and cheese
7:30.
last night.
You know what I'm saying?
We gotta talk
All right,
about
so I ain't
this.
even gonna ask you because I already know your answer. Yes, it's a deal breaker. Cheating is a deal breaker. What for you? What
Well, hold on, wait a minute.
Okay.
I wouldn't say the actual act of fucking is a deal breaker for me, right?
Okay.
Cause with my big boy pants on, shit like that happens. You know what I'm saying? I've been.
What you mean?
I've been in a situation, man. I've been in a relationship where you know what I'm saying. She slipped on a dick, and I slipped my dick in something else. I think the lines got really blurred when motherfuckers tell them I love them. That's when they just go to a whole nother
So
level.
when emotions are involved.
Yeah.
That
Because
would
you
be a
can't
deal
do-
breaker for me.
Yeah, you just can't cut them
Emotions.
emotional
That would be a deal
ties.
breaker for me.
What do you mean? What will be if?
Like if y'all saying I love you and all, like if
Yeah.
I see a text message
Yeah.
and you, I love you, I miss
Oh.
you. Okay, well
Yeah.
now you
Yeah.
can get your shit and leave.
Right.
And I'm not even gonna.
Let me
I'm
go.
not even gonna ask no questions at that point.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can leave. I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about it. We don't need to argue about it. If you love him, then go be with that nigga.
Yeah. For
If
real.
you love me, then you shouldn't be telling another nigga
Right.
that you love him. Because I personally would never do that. Even
Right.
if I got myself caught up in a situation where I was texting another girl for whatever reason and the texts were getting inappropriate, I'm never gonna be like, oh, I love you. I would leave the minute I started feeling that, like if it started to come across me like, oh, I'm falling in love with this person, then I'm going to need to evaluate the relationship that I'm in. And if I really think I love this person, then I'm going to leave the relationship I'm in.
Okay, so let's just put him in a 5% box, because I mean, how many people do you know that would genuinely feel that way and say that way? Most people, like, if I can get away with it, I'm gonna get away with it.
With saying I love you to somebody?
Man,
with being in 2 relationships?
What did they mean it when they said it?
You shouldn't say it if you didn't mean it. You shouldn't say I love you if you don't mean it.
So you shouldn't be fucking if you're married. You
Well,
should be
that
fucking
as
if
well.
you're
I
in a
mean, like
relationship.
we just said, shit happens.
Yeah.
It does happen.
That's the shit happens.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you,
Shit break down.
yeah.
Communication breaks down. You know, because there's like 3 reasons. Well, maybe more than 3, but like communication breakdown,
Money.
lack of finances, intimacy.
Damn, baby, we can't pay the rent this month. I'm gonna go fuck something.
like intimacy, you know what I'm saying? Or like, women always say like, well, if my bills ain't paid, I don't feel intimate. All right, well, I'm gonna call Sheila.
I'm gonna call Sheila.
Because
There are
she
some
down
women that
to
will
fuck.
say that.
She
Say
down
what?
to fuck, right?
Yeah, she down
Wait,
to fuck.
if my bills aren't paid,
If my finances ain't right,
Yeah.
a lot of women be like, "Oh, I don't feel intimate. I don't feel like having sex if my bills ain't paid." Cool.
I ain't never heard that one, but I know finances can
Yeah.
fuck up a relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely.
man, I invited you here and told you we was gonna talk like some real like good mental health shit. We talking about prostitution.
No,
and cheating.
but I mean, like, it's
It's real shit.
it comes in every fucking relationship, man.
It does.
Like, I mean, it really comes up. Like,
For you, is it a deal breaker? I meant to get back. So if your significant other sexually cheats, is it a deal breaker?
100%.
Why?
100%. Because you're not the person I thought you were.
Ooh.
Look, I'm at a point in my life where, look, and this isn't to like build myself up. It's just a reality. And what I try to profess is like, I love myself. You know what I'm saying? I love myself enough to know that, I'm not out there looking for something from somebody. I'm here
Right.
to share it with somebody. So if you are at a point to where you want to slip out and do something with someone else, or you're not getting what you need from me, that's cool. We can go our separate ways, and you go get what you need, and I'll go on with my life and share my love with somebody else. Like,
But I think that
100%.
there's, like, it's not always as simple as, like, you went out looking for something. And I think for me, I just want to give, and I'm not saying that I would go out and cheat, but I'm saying that I would want to give someone the same grace that I would want if I put myself in that position to do that. And I also preface that with saying, like, I'm not saying that if my girl is sleeping with the same nigga or 8 niggas or 5 niggas or 10 niggas, that I'm like, oh,
Slide of
I'm
niggas.
good. Like, if you have one sexual encounter and it somehow comes back up into our relationship, then I'm willing to forgive you if you're willing to acknowledge and apologize for it, because I think that it's a possibility that those things happen. Now, after that, we got to see what happens after that, right? Like, I'm going to give you whatever rope you need to continue to hang yourself. And if you hang yourself again, okay, well, now I'm wiping my hands of it. Now, women, they aren't like that. They'll let you cheat 800 times and they'll still stay and blah, 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 blah. It's a different mindset, I think. But for me, like, I just wouldn't want to shun, like, that could be your soulmate. Like, that could be the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. And because they made one mistake sexually, and I think for men, sex isn't always emotional for us.
Right.
But they
But it is
say
for
it's
women.
always for women, but some women it might not be.
Not all.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
women out there
Well,
that
it's
are
not these
killers.
new age women.
Yeah, right.
It's different.
Yeah, so
This world is different.
Right.
So what I wanted to say is like, okay, so let's say you get the old lady, y'all have some hard times. You catch your old lady out there, and
I love how he says old lady.
but
He an old man.
yeah, right. and you catch her out there with the cat. You know what I'm saying? And y'all make amends and shit. You know what I'm saying? Wash your hands of it and shit. But the cat come back. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe a month or two or so later, or you find out, because some women are slick, shiesty motherfuckers. And they
They're slicker than us.
yeah, they hide motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They hide, or they hide their supply, and but sometimes they slip and you catch up. So if it's a reoccurring thing, how many times does it go on? Like, why you still talking to this motherfucker?
It's one time.
Yeah, it's one
So,
time,
okay.
one time thing.
One time.
But
Bam.
okay. So obviously there are a myriad of different reasons somebody cheats, right? You know, they're not happy at home, or
Yeah,
you know,
the
they were caught in the wrong place, whatever. But like it pulls up, it like conjures up so many different red flags of other things. Like, okay, well, if you were having an issue with this, why didn't we talk about it? You know what I'm saying? So instead of talking about it, you decided to go this route. You know what I mean? So like it opens up a bunch of other issues, right? And or you were in the wrong place, or you put yourself in the wrong place. Well, what the fuck does that mean? You put yourself in the wrong place. You went to a party, you drank too much, and you look up at Halle Berry making a move on you, and oh, fuck, babe, it's Halle Berry. I was drunk. What the fuck you want?
Right.
You know
what I'm saying?
Morning.
Can we?
Yeah.
Does everybody get a Halle Berry pass?
Hey, like I got a 5 with my wife that I'm supposed to get a pass on, but my wife is different. She's like, hey, look, if you want to fuck something else, just show her to me and bring her home too, cause you know what I'm saying? Like, she gonna kill me for saying that on this. But
Hey,
like,
I know what my first reel is gonna be.
So we just gonna have to edit 37 seconds out of this.
but yeah,
show.
I mean, but
But
yeah,
I feel like everything that you're saying is why women cheat, but not why men cheat.
okay, well, let's talk about why men cheat.
Let's get into it.
And so,
Why do
into
men?
it.
Why do men cheat?
do we know?
Definition?
I say yeah, because like I said before, the lack of attention, lack of emotion, the lack of communication, the lack of trust.
See, he's a Cancer. Everybody.
Oh, okay.
that's that
now this all
emotion.
makes
I'm a
sense.
Cancer.
He's a
First,
Cancer.
relax.
What
I'm a
the
Cancer
fuck
as
that
well.
mean?
First, hey, Cancer
Now this all
love.
makes sense.
Cancer love. I feel you.
No, that's not a diss. That's like, but
just
you
saying.
could tell, like, by his actions. If
couldn't
a
tell.
Leo was speaking, he'd be like,
I'm a
"Man,
Leo."
look, I just, you know, sometimes I,
Right.
sometimes I want some strange. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I couldn't tell you a Cancer.
Yeah.
Continue. Anyway.
Right. So it's the lack of something in the foundation ain't founding, and it ain't dationing right. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lack of something. Someone comes in, some woman, some man, they come in, and you know what I'm saying.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because if it's a lack in something, like if the formula is there's something is lacking, then do people always realize what's lacking? Like, do they realize I'm doing this because something's lacking, or do they think they're just doing it because they don't have a reason? I'm just doing it.
I think it depends. I think it depends on who you ask, because it goes back to how well do you know yourself.
Right.
You know, and so, you know, if you getting up there in the years, you know, you're getting a little older, like some of us.
Oh, I feel attacked.
He look right over here.
I feel motherfucking attacked.
No, don't. I didn't mean it. I'm right there behind you, well, not right behind you.
Right.
But like a decade behind you. Though.
Right. Goddamn.
But I mean, if you've gotten to the point to where you do know yourself and you do understand relationships, and you've taken the time to research like what the fuck it actually takes to make either a relationship work or a marriage work, 9 times out of 10, yeah, you know why you're cheating, and 9 times out of 10, when you do it, you're doing it, and maybe you have some justification in the back of your mind. But you know, I don't think all people I think there are people that are just like, yo, I just needed something, and I just went and got some. Not everyone puts like that specific thought into it, but I think that, yeah, there are tons of people that make a calculated decision.
Okay, so let's go back to what you just said. Okay, there's some people that they don't really think about it. They just go out and they want something and they go and do it.
Yes.
Okay, so what does that say about how they feel about their relationship?
They some sociopaths.
Not
You feel what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Like,
Boy, he all Cancer vibes over here.
no, yeah, I feel what you're saying, and what I think it says is they may not be emotionally mature enough to be able to understand what's happening with them.
Oh, yeah.
If they just get up and do it, you know, like not everyone is. How many people have had a great example of what a great relationship looks like? How many people do you know to
Now
where
you're
their
talking.
parents,
Right.
not only did they stay together,
Yeah.
but their parents were two people to where they didn't like not argue and fuss and fight in front of you. What they did was they would continue with the argument, and then they would show you how to end it respectfully. Like, I don't know a lot of people that grew up and had like this fantastic example of what a relationship should really look like. So a lot of people are learning on the fly.
True.
How do we learn what to do and what not to do? You fuck up.
Yeah.
You make mistakes.
and you got to pay for it.
And you pay for
Yes.
exactly.
You do
And
have
you
to pay
see
for
how
it.
that shit felt.
Right.
Like it hit you different when you cheat on somebody for the first time, and then you see cheating crumble somebody.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
that's
Like
devastating.
Yes.
now maybe we talking about
Yeah.
that sociopath shit that you talking about. If you could crumble somebody like that, and then you
Devastating.
keep doing it,
They're never the
that's
same
different.
after that shit.
No,
A lot of
They're
people
never-
aren't.
Yeah.
that's very tough.
But
Tell
they're
them to
not
come
emotionally intelligent enough to understand that the issue is with them.
Yeah.
Like the
Starting to talk about narcissists.
the indicator in the
That's my
brain
shit.
isn't like, oh, there's actually something going on with me that's causing me to do this. The indicator is there is none. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, I'm just doing this thing.
It's a sociopath.
And like you said, yeah, it's like being a
I disagree.
sociopath.
No, I completely disagree with the sociopath thing. Just because you can be in your early 20s figuring out life and
You're a
not
young
you know,
sociopath.
and you could be in a
Young sociopath. Young and
you
psychotic.
So what you're saying is that a person can't make that mistake. So what you're saying is, as far as cheating goes, if you cheat, you're a sociopath. You can't just cheat and not really take in the ramifications of what you're doing, other than, yo, I'm just feeding my needs.
I think if you can't take in, sorry.
No.
If you can't take in the ramifications of what you're doing, it's like as far as right or wrong, then you're a fucking sociopath.
But you know it's wrong, but there are degrees of wrong, right? Like,
Right.
jaywalking is wrong,
But I'm gonna do that.
right?
I'm
There-
gonna
there-
do
there-
that.
there-
I'll
there-
jaywalk.
there-
Jaywalking
there-
ain't the same as taking off a bride's panties.
I'm just saying there are different degrees of right and wrong.
there's an individual involved. So basically, like if regardless of age, if you cheat on somebody, you might not understand the ramifications of it in that moment.
Oh, yeah.
But when you see that other person and you see the pain that you've inflicted and you still don't care, that's a fucking
So
sociopath.
that's a
Because
sociopath.
you don't have any
That's
empathy.
yeah.
Right?
No
What is
empathy.
this? What is a sociopath? They have no empathy.
no
I
empathy.
mean, there's obviously other layers. To
My ex.
Now we see where this is coming from.
Sociopath.
We got some wounds coming up. We got some wounds coming up.
Hey.
But what I was leading to was, how many people though do you know that cheat on somebody and are like, all right, suck it up.
Well,
Like
okay.
most people, when they cheat on someone, you feel bad when you see.
But then
what
they
you
keep
done
But
to
it's
that
like
person.
any
But
other,
then they keep doing
because
it.
it's like a passing
Yeah.
feeling. It's just like fleets. Like, okay, it happened and
Sociopath.
I'm over it.
Sociopathic behavior.
So sociopath could be a good word, but I'm trying to think to myself, like, what other things in life would shake me up, but I would go back and do it, right? Like, have you ever almost been in a crazy car accident, but then you get right back in the car and drive? Like, I don't know if it makes you a sociopath or if some people are wired in a way where, and I understand, like, with cheating, it's tied to someone's emotions.
Right.
So it's like, this is your own internal emotions, but for you to be able to watch someone else and be emotional, it's very different. A good example for me is, like, years ago, I was in a situationship with this girl. I'll call it a situationship. And we were basically just friends with benefits for a long period of time, like 6 months. And then she was asking me, like, oh, well, when can I meet your friends? When can I do this? When I can do that? I'm like, we're not together. Like, why would I do that? And it, like, broke her heart. And I felt so terrible after that. I called my friend. I'm like, yo, I need to get in a relationship. I don't want to be with her, but I don't want to be in a situation where I'm stringing a girl along for months, because in my head, we already established that we're friends with benefits, but you have gotten attached because of the time period that it's been doing it. And now I'm crumbling you. And you're not the first girl that this has happened to. And for me, I didn't want to continue to repeat that cycle because it was emotionally draining to me. But some people aren't in touch enough with their emotions to feel the drain. It's like oh, that hurt somebody. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah. But you know, like off that example, the two things that pop up to me, which I think are the two biggest killers of relationship, is perception and communication. Like you guys didn't
Therefore, lack of.
communicate because from your perception, right? From your perception, it was just a situationship, friends with benefits. We're both on the same page here. You know, she's getting what she needs, I'm getting what I need. Everything's cool. But from her perception, she's probably thinking, okay, you know, he likes the fact that it's a situationship, but the longer I stay with him, the longer I keep doing these things,
So who
the
follows-
more and more that I'm going to have an opportunity to actually be with him. Like that's her perspective.
Yes.
And that's her point
Oh,
of view.
God, that's
Hold up. So
Big
but who's
topic.
So let's get to it
Right.
because who's everything isn't about fault, but whose fault is that? If
That's
this man
nobody's
is,
fault.
if he's communicating to her,
Right.
hey, this is what I'm.
Yeah.
And a person,
Yeah.
that's one of the worst things in a relationship, but just not even a romantic relationship, but a relationship with another human being. If in your mind, like that's manipulative. That's if she's thinking, okay, he has said he doesn't want a relationship, but
Right.
if I keep sharing my cookies,
Yup.
Yeah.
You're manipulating them.
at some point,
Narcissist.
Yeah.
as
Sociopath, narcissistic behavior.
so I bring it up because that's it's something that's common that happens to
Right.
where you can communicate what you want to do, you can communicate what your plans are.
That's
and
in
then
any relationship.
I'm gonna change. Like the idea of you can change someone is the biggest crock of shit that anybody on the face of the planet could ever believe.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there. I've been there in that state of mind. But you
What
got
state of mind?
trying to change a motherfucker.
Got you.
Or trying to love a motherfucker enough that they would change. Like, oh well, shit, he love me. Maybe
Right.
I should change. Yeah, you should change. Or I'm gonna be gone. You know what I'm saying? That kind of shit. So yeah,
That's the
That's
biggest
control.
issue, though. People.
that's some controlling shit.
The worst thing that we do in relationships is thinking that people are going to change or that they should change for the
Right.
sake of this
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah, right, right,
That's the
right.
biggest mistake that you can make in any relationship.
Yeah.
And I don't
Control.
care, even your friends, but anything, like you can meet, you can talk about like, we're all pretty successful. You meet a young person that maybe not be on the right path. You try to help them on the right path, but you see they're not changing. But to think, oh, because they're hanging around me, all of a sudden they're going to change.
Right.
That's on them. You can't take on that responsibility.
Yeah.
But in a relationship, for sure, that's a killer. Like people spend way too much time, and I'm guilty of it, of
I think
wanting somebody to
all are,
change,
yeah.
thinking that somebody's going to change, instead of saying, okay, I need to accept this person for exactly who they are. They're showing me exactly who they are. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person, but it means that I need to learn to accept that in order to move forward in a relationship. And if I can't, then the right thing to do is not string that person along and make
Right.
them think
And bail
that you are okay with who they are when you're not.
I think.
Go ahead, brother.
I think it's an easy trap that you can fall into though, because say you're in a relationship and all of the things that you say you're a go-getter. You get up and you go get it. You get after the money. And you're in a relationship with someone that may necessarily not be that, but they tell you how inspired they are by what you do. Oh man, I wish I could do this the way that you do it. Right? And then maybe even go as far as to say, hey, like, teach me. You know what I'm saying? And so then like it's an easy trap to fall into, to where now are you thinking, hey, I'm trying to change it. This person done showed me they are lazy as fuck.
Right.
They're lazy. They're lazy as shit. And I don't want to diss lazy people because we all get lazy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But this person has showed me everything that I need to know. However, I care about them. I'm listening to what they're saying. And so, you can fall into a trap where you think you're doing them a service. You can think you're doing something that is
Sound like
actually
some-
helping them.
Sounds like some enabling shit to me.
It does.
Yeah, it
And I
does. Doesn't
think-
it? It does.
And I think that women are gonna hate me for this. I think that women.
Fuck it.
I think that women.
For four dudes on a podcast,
Fuck
shit, what the
it.
fuck they know
I
about
think that
relationships?
I watched
Women-
Oprah before. I know what they be talking about.
I think that women think that they can gratify a man by doing things like that, by saying like, "Oh, can you teach me? Like I'm inspired by you. Can you teach me?" But it's really like their way of saying, how can I connect with him? What can I do to connect with him? Because I feel like this thing that he's doing it takes away from what our relationship is. And maybe if I can become a part of that,
Yes.
then it'll bring us closer together.
Yes.
But then it's false pretenses because you really don't want to do it for yourself.
Yeah, so
you
what if
can't motivate
It's
for the
like-
fact of someone else. You have to motivate for yourself.
It's like women are obviously naturally submissive. You know what I'm saying? The feminine energy, naturally submissive. So when they see a man who has passions or is really, fired up about something, or, it's another conversation, really close to their friends, that they want to, I want to hang with your friends. Or, oh, I'm really interested. Oh, you like making model cars? I want to learn how to make model cars, right?
Okay. I
Because
got
they
something.
see that.
I want to say something too.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they see that as their way in. That's how I can connect with them, like you just talked about. And it's mostly comes from the fact that naturally women, and not just naturally, but conditionally. Because, I mean, you go back, probably prior to the 90s, that's how women were. I mean, you go back to the 50s, you talk with some of the elders, and like when they see women of today and how independent they are, they don't even understand that.
Nope.
Because they're so conditioned to be submissive.
Are y'all not living in 2023? Naturally, women are naturally submissive. I disagree. I disagree completely. Do you not listen to females rapping right now? Do you not? Are you not familiar with the landscape of
females
the world
actually
right
rap
Wait a minute,
nowadays.
wait a minute. The point I was trying to make before we get too far off with the Cardi B and shit. So one thing they can use, like they try and learn your ways and all that kind of shit, so they can fucking manipulate you.
Damn, you speaking from some heartbreak over here.
Hey, no, seriously,
Talking
yo.
shit.
So they can manipulate you and they can further control you.
Maybe I just want to bond.
I think I don't agree. I don't agree with that wholeheartedly. I think there are some that do use that. I ain't gonna lie about that.
Some that do.
I
But
believe so
won't
too.
say that.
I do believe that there's some that will use it as a manipulative tactic.
you goddamn
and
right.
I've seen some women do it really well.
Yeah.
And I've seen some women do it really poorly. It's like, oh, you really failing at this manipulation thing that you're
Right.
pulling.
Okay,
Right.
but that goes back to like what you talked about. Whose fault was it in your situationship?
Right.
Like the reason that homegirl was doing that is because obviously she had a lot of insecurities in herself. She didn't feel confident enough to come up to you and say, "Hey, you know what? Like I know what we're doing is dope, but I want more." And she wasn't confident enough to do that.
To just say that.
So
just
she had to
communicate it.
try to use a backdoor manipulative type of way to kind of coerce y'all's relationship.
But manipulation
into
is never going to work.
No,
it
it's not.
will
No, it's
always
something.
backfire.
But people only manipulate when they're not confident in the normal
or when they
organic
feel like
approach.
they're not being heard.
But was she insecure,
or
or
when
was
they
she
just-
not confident that when she came to him and said, "Hey, I want a relationship," he was gonna be like, "No, I'm good." So there's a difference between when you're insecure and you don't have the courage and confidence to say something, or she was like, "You know what? I know if I come and tell him that I want a relationship, do you want to be in a relationship?" He's gonna be like, "No."
Okay. If she's that confident, then she should be like, "Okay, cool," and keep it moving. Go find somebody else.
She should.
I don't think that
But
that's necessarily confidence that a person doesn't want to lose somebody that they like. You don't have to. You
Do they really want to lose them, or do they just want to string them along?
Nah, but I
Not
mean,
in-
no. Let's keep going.
Yeah, because it's more selfish than anything if you think about it. Because check it out. If you are looking at it like this, oh man, I done found a young CEO, entrepreneurial male that's making a decent amount of money. He's nice. He's respectful. You know, from what I hear, there's a lot of assholes out here. I've heard that. I've heard that. Maybe some of those waitresses that y'all say I be doing all that shit, but maybe they told me. Maybe that's why I heard it. I don't know.
I don't think those
But-
waitresses are assholes at all.
But
no, the
I'm
people
talking
that
about
they
men.
meant.
Oh,
Come on, cancer. What's up? Stay with me. So,
I got you.
so is it maybe she's being a little bit selfish? If she is looking at the landscape, she sees she has somebody that she doesn't want to let go.
Right.
I want to stay with this person. So if I try to put the pressure on him and tell him, look, I want us to be more of a one-on-one thing, I may lose him. And I would rather keep doing this than lose him.
Okay.
So what's easier?
Do you think that person loves themselves?
Yes, I think they love themselves. I think.
Okay.
I
Let's
think
talk
that
about it.
I just think that some women. I don't think that being insecure means that you don't love yourself. I think that you still love yourself. I think that a lot of times, sometimes insecurity is very inward, but then sometimes society makes you feel insecure about who you are. And so I feel like there may be like a little bit of that can play into that. But at the end of the day, being insecure to me is not an excuse to manipulate somebody to your way of thinking or to doing something that you want them to do or to create some type of buy-in. I feel like the direct way is to, like you said, just say like, hey, I want this to be more than what it is. And then you're like, okay, well, I don't.
Right.
And then we know where we are. That's the issue with relationships, is that people string things along for so long instead of just saying how they feel or exactly what's on their mind, because they're scared that it's going to cause their relationship to be over.
And
like
that's-
what you said. And so that is the important part for her, is like, well, maybe if I hang out with his friends, like you said, maybe if I hang out with his friends more,
Right.
he'll start to like me in a different way. But I'm already off that. So I'm telling you, like, no, we're not. If you had just asked me, we could have ended it right there, unless you wanted to continue doing what we were doing and not having that fulfillment. But then also, if that's what you want, you shouldn't stay doing what we're doing if I'm not giving you what you want.
Well, that's okay. If they have insecurity about relationships, I can dig it. But if she truly loves herself, she wouldn't care.
About-
Like she wouldn't care.
Clarify what you mean.
she wouldn't care that if she went and told him how she felt and
What my response was.
what the response was, she'd keep it moving.
Well, but what? No, I disagree. No,
Because it
it's
doesn't
not-
mean they're not going to be
that's
friends
simple.
anymore.
Right.
They're still going to be friends. They're still
I'd
going to be each
still be
other's
friends with
love.
her.
Hey, maybe he is breaking her back out, and she doesn't want to lose that.
Okay, well,
Like,
she-
Well, that's
there,
not
there are
enough to-
things.
But she loved herself. She wouldn't put
Right.
herself through that.
You can get sex anywhere.
But what if
Exactly.
she? I don't think that, and I don't know. Maybe it's the.
I mean, look. The insecurity thing is
Pastor
true.
derails.
It doesn't matter how much you love yourself. Everybody has insecurity.
Right.
There's no way around that.
Facts.
Like I said, if she has insecurities about relationships, then I could see it. But if she doesn't, and it's more just about like, hey, I'm just gonna stay in this as long as I can, and eventually I feel like he's gonna get more serious with me. Yeah, that's a red flag, man.
Yeah, I agree with the red flag, but I'm just looking at it from her vantage point. Like, I think it could be just as simple as, hey, I'm a homebody. All right, I don't go out. I go
Are
to
you talking
work.
about yourself,
No,
or-
not me. I'm talking about the girl. We back to the girl.
I say he be out all
I am a
the motherfucking
homebody.
time.
First of all, I am a homebody. I stay at home
He
with
be
my
out in them
computer
streets.
and my camera
Right.
in the clouds.
Actually, I got. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm about to cut you off. Go ahead, bro. Do your thing.
Shit. I was just thinking it could be simpler than that. It could be more simple. So let me paint this picture. This young lady. Okay. So she's an introvert. She's a homebody. She doesn't go out. She doesn't have a large avenue to meet people. Although there is online dating out there. I do want to say that because we got to get to some online dating, Mr. Single Man. But we'll get that in a
I
second.
got a question after this. That I
Okay,
want to
perfect.
pose.
Because
Holy shit.
you see where I'm going with this.
I
Is
do.
what I'm saying
I
is
do.
so if she's sitting at home and she's looking at it and she's thinking about, okay, you're fulfilling every need that she has. There's just no title. So if she is going through the motions and she's saying, okay, let me think about this. He's respectful. He's nice. He opens my door. He pays for dinner. I mean, he's kind of an asshole, but I can deal with that. I like a little edge, right? So
You're
so
talking
if,
about me, huh?
so let's just go to she really fucking. So say okay. So let's just go to okay. So he's checking all the boxes. Now, from what we've heard, the field could be a little challenging. So I don't think that it necessarily means that she's insecure or she feels bad about herself. Or it could just be she's like, yo, that's a lot of work out there trying to find something that is going to make me feel the same way that he does. And if the only problem I have is we don't have a title, I don't know. Maybe
So,
I'm good.
So you saying keep a portion of what you have, then it's better to keep a portion of what you have than keep the whole thing in
Or
totality.
what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just speaking from a standpoint of, like she's like, this is my friend. Like, he's cool as
Yeah.
shit. I really like him. Do I want something more? Yes. But maybe I don't have to have something more.
So the question
But that's not the scenario.
is he
though.
blowing her back out or not?
he's definitely
I think we
going back out.
established.
Okay.
Definitely
okay.
going back out.
So
okay.
here's the thing. Okay, but we've established, at least in if we're speaking, if you're
And
alluding
she's
this to
not
his
an
relationship,
introvert. This person was not an introvert.
right?
But this is a hypothetical.
Okay, okay. Even your hypothetical thing, like if she truly did love herself and was confident, then she would know that, okay, well, if he doesn't want what I want, then I could find that somewhere else. Like we live in a world with 8 billion fucking people. You know what I'm saying?
But that doesn't mean you have access to 8 billion
That's
people.
a fact.
And-
no, but you
and-
got access to a decent portion of them.
Maybe 125.
But have you ever heard the phrase "the devil you know"?
Yeah, but that's a
Spitting,
cop
right?
out. That's a cop out statement.
How?
That's a cop out statement.
You're spitting because I believe, another probably unpopular opinion, I believe that our parents' generation stayed together because of the devil that they knew. And I think that our generation was raised to be so independent and dynamic that we left that part behind and was like, no, it's not about the devil. I know there's 8 million people, 8 billion people in the world out
Billion.
there I can go after and get. I don't got to put up with this shit.
Our parents did not have online dating.
No. Look. If you go back, like, I mean, people will tell you, like, you go back, like, you got married to the person who was fucking in your town or who
Yup.
was a family friend, and if it was good, that was like, okay, well, that's icing on the cake. We weren't, it doesn't have to be good. It's a
Nope.
fucking marriage. But I bring that up to pose this question: are we meant to be monogamous as creatures?
Y'all go first.
Are we meant to be?
I don't-
And
I
I'm not
don't-
just talking about men. I'm talking about men and women.
It's like humans, period.
Yeah.
Monogamous is like one mate all through our life. Is that what you're
Just
talking?
one mate at a time within a relationship.
Sexually?
Okay, yeah.
Or
I mean,
everything?
Everything.
Yeah, I mean, I would think we supposed to be monogamous in a relationship, but if you're not in a relationship, hoe for hoe. Yeah.
I think that it depends on everything.
Okay.
I think that it is perceived that your relationship should provide you with everything that you need from a significant other, from a person. That's the perception is, like, once I'm married, especially with our parents' generation, once I'm married, we go on family trips together, we eat together, we do all these things together, and then the kids leave, and then we're both old, and our shit don't work right, so we just stay together, and we die old. And I think that...
And miserable.
And miserable. Well, by then I think that they done fell in love. It's been 60 years. We love each other now.
Nah,
Like,
no, that ain't how it work,
Hey,
bro.
if you
No,
ask some
that ain't how
grandmas right now, hey, she ain't never loved Earl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. If you hated her 30 years ago,
Yeah.
once the kids leave,
Yeah.
she's still doing the same shit,
Yeah.
you still hate her.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's no
Oh, yeah.
change.
I think
You
so
just
I-
an empty nester.
So I think that if you look at monogamy from a holistic mental and physical perspective, then no, we're not meant to be. I don't think we're meant to be monogamous. If you look at it from a physical perspective, I think that we could. There's a lot of people that probably could be monogamous physically.
Yeah.
Wait,
I could be monogamous. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Been drinking too much. I could be with the same woman forever if the relationship was that relationship.
right.
wait,
Right.
let's unpack
good point.
the not physical part. When you say, I didn't understand the first part when you were saying like we shouldn't be monogamous if it's not physical. Like, what do you?
Because I think that in relationships, it's a lot of pressure and a lot of need to be like each other's everything. Like, I feel like that's what he means. Like, monogamously, I'm giving you all of me,
Yeah.
the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. And I don't think that that's how relationships work. Like,
What do you mean?
if I were to go out and cheat,
Right.
I'm not going to tell her. I'm going to tell you. But you're satisfying a part of me that is necessary for my survival if I feel like I need to discuss that with somebody, not her. And so I'm really not giving her all of me at that point.
Right.
And that's just a piece. Or if you're a creative, you're creatives, right? Like, I want to get creative, but my significant other may not really be creative, or it may not be interesting to her. Yeah. So I'm going to go either by myself or with the people that are creative and spend my time there, but I'm pulling away from pieces of the relationship while I'm doing that.
So how's that not just friendship?
But
That's just friendship.
So you're talking.
That's not
you're
cheating.
talking all aspects of life.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, no, I thought we were talking like
I mean,
crossing
I was
boundaries.
just talking just like relationships. You know, monogamy versus polygamy per se.
Oh,
You know
no.
what I'm saying?
Polygamy, fuck that.
Holy shit.
Man, who happened?
No, okay, because let's break it down real quick. Obviously, we all feel that way. You heard my stance on if my woman were to cheat, how I felt about it, so you kind of know where I come on that. But I'm also confident enough to admit that comes from conditioning, right? Because the only reason monogamy is even practiced is because of conditioning,
Right.
through fucking centuries of a way it's supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
Right. So when we grew up in that, the world that when we entered this world, it was already established that this was, at least if you're born here in America, unless you're in Utah, that you know what I'm saying, that monogamy is the way. But if you think about us as creatures, as humans, and how we are very social beings, like, you have to ask yourself, were we truly meant to be monogamous?
You put that very well.
Just saying.
I mean, just like monogamous throughout your years, like just monogamous in a relationship.
In a relationship.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, in a relationship. But
What does it mean when you say, like, is it like from the very first relationship you have to the very last one you have? Or, like, let's say I'm in high school and I'm in a relationship and I'm cheating. But then let's say I'm 30 and I get married and now I'm not cheating anymore.
But see,
So growth.
married.
Growth has occurred.
But married.
So
okay?
marriage.
Let's talk about that. Like, the whole concept of marriage.
Right.
Right? You meet that one person, you share vows, you make this commitment to each other and to live, through sickness and health and all those things. Where does that come from?
But people just be getting married to be getting married.
the good
I
book.
mean,
There
they
we
don't
go.
even.
There we
they
go.
don't even. People get married, and they get married because of a moment. like some people don't take the time to understand what marriage is before they get into it. They say, oh, I met this person. She got a fat ass. She cooks. She cleans. She goes to work every day, 9 to 5. She makes good money. She could be a good mother. I'm going to marry her. Then you get married, and then you have to go through all this shit in the marriage that you could have prevented if you had like looked at it before, looked deeper into it before you got married. And it's like people they get married to get married, and they're like, oh, well, men cheat, women cheat, and nobody's monogamous. Well, you fucking got in a relationship with somebody that you probably shouldn't have married.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you're not even giving the world an opportunity to do like a real case study on if monogamy is possible. Like if you, for example, are married and you feel like, you know, this woman is my best friend, she's my life partner. Like how many people actually marry the person that they feel before they got married was their life partner? Like did they do all the work to make sure that feeling wasn't
There you go.
wasn't what's that
Superficial.
superficial, or what's that other word?
Flaky.
It's a deadly sin. I can't remember what the word is.
Lustful.
Lust, to make sure that it wasn't lust.
That's indoctrination
Because
too.
if I met freaking Jennifer Lopez and we went on a date and she wanted to date me, I would marry her in 6 weeks tops, and she could be a bitch, and I wouldn't
Hey.
know it until I'm 6 months in.
But we
because I was
know
so
she can't keep no man.
infatuated.
Infatuation.
Yeah.
And she can't.
But
So
can't
that's
keep
all right.
She can't
But,
keep no dude.
but it's
That's
the
what we know.
concept.
That's
It's
what
the
we do
concept
know.
of marriage, though. It's like still, yeah, people do it on a whim. People go to Vegas and do it. People elope. People get married, you know, within a month. Some people take 7 years because they're scared. They're scared to commit. Whatever. But it all funnels into that one monogamous relationship, whether it's marriage or not. But we don't think because of conditioning of, oh, I can have this person, that person, and have 3 separate relationships going on at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
unless
it's
you're
not
poly.
accepted in society.
But is it necessary?
that's
Is it
true.
necessary?
I don't know. Well, think about
Question.
it.
It's not necessary for me, and it's too much work.
It is a lot of work. But if 50% of the, you know, more than 50% of the marriages end in divorce, obviously one person isn't giving the other person exactly what they need. Maybe it would work with 2 or 3.
Not well. All right, great. When we started this relationship shit, I was like, "Yo, don't get on the soapbox. Don't
Go
do
ahead.
it. I'm doing it.
There he is.
All right, let's fuck
A
it.
cups, everybody.
Fuck it. Fuck it. Well, this is Matthew. I'm not.
Oh, shit.
I'm removing out of A cup for a second.
Do you need to take this off?
Yeah. I can't say what I'm about to say with immerse on my side.
Immerse.
That shit's fly. I like it. I'm fucking with you, sir. It's dope. Now, man, let's have a real fucking serious conversation
Let's get
about
into it.
relationships. Okay.
Okay.
How many?
Hold on. Let me make sure the cameras are still running.
Yeah. Make sure everything's rolling. Oh shit.
Right.
What time is it?
No, we aren't.
What time is it?
It's only 8:30.
Oh, we good.
Okay.
Good. I'm all in front of the camera. Hey, edit that out.
I will. Don't even. worry
Right.
about
Right.
Okay, we good. I'm both.
it. All right. Sit down so you're not fucking up the frame. And then I'm saying.
I gave you a warning.
I just want. Well, I'm just telling you. Sit. I want you to hurry up so I don't forget.
My bad. Talk to
Del Reyes, man. This gonna get to my.
Vegas. Go ahead, bro.
House of Kings.
How many people? Well, you don't have to give me a real number, but how many people really know what it takes to make a marriage work?
About
Well,
14.
we're really kind of just right now. We're asking the 4 gentlemen that are here in the building right now.
Well, and let me back up
'Cause
from
we don't-
marriage.
We can't get
Let's-
no feedback from nobody else right now.
Yeah, relationships. Who the fuck tells us everything that goes into making a real relationship
Nobody.
work?
Nobody.
Okay, so
Nobody. It's
so now
life.
you gotta. First thing is you gotta start with yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta understand yourself. You gotta know where you're headed in life, what you're doing, because you have to be able to explain that to a significant party, another person, if you guys are going to move in the same sequence as one, right? So how many people like get into a relationship and aren't just, yo, you're attractive, we get along, we have fun, all right, let's do it, versus having the fucking conversations that motherfuckers should really have, like all the key things. And let's keep it basic. I don't have to get too deep, but just people don't talk. Do you want to have kids?
Are you
How do
crazy?
you- huh?
Are you crazy?
He done been through a lot of bad relationships.
He done- he done-
No, I
he done
mean,
been
no, that's
through-
just a good question. You
Are
asked
you
me.
crazy?
But who's gonna say? I mean, well, actually, I take that back. I would say who's gonna say yes, but nowadays a lot of people will say, "No, I am a little crazy."
That is a condition for me.
Crazy?
If you're crazy, we're done.
Oh yeah.
But everybody defines crazy
Yeah,
differently.
everybody's
That's
a little crazy.
No,
everybody defines
there's
crazy differently.
There's like everything here is crazy as fuck. Here you might get a little bit of something. You might be able to deal with it, might be able to not. But if the people that you already know is here ain't no interpretation like you fucking crazy.
There's a difference between toxic and crazy. Does everybody agree? I think there's a difference between.
It's a very
there's
thin
a
line.
difference, but
Ooh.
it's a thin
Because
line. But
toxic
there's a
is
difference
crazy.
between toxic and crazy because shit. Well, people like the
It's the
geniuses.
same.
You know, I know Einstein. People
Kanye?
like fuck Kanye. No, not that motherfucker. It's that's different. But you know, I'm just saying. I think that there are different levels of crazy, and some, you know, we are very quick to call somebody crazy, and I don't necessarily think that everybody we say is crazy. I think it's a high probability we don't understand them. So that's why I want to draw the line. I want to say toxic. I think you're talking more about the toxic shit, the yelling, the screaming. I don't have no patience for somebody raising their voice at me. Yeah, yo, I'm so cool and calm at this age. Like if you feel the need, if I do something, you feel the need to flip out on me, I'm gonna let you get your shit off, and then that's it.
So
Yeah, but there's no, but that's just from, you know, life experience and shit like that. And it just comes to understanding now what it takes to make a relationship work. Like people talk about communication, and all that shit. It's not just communication. Are you able to have difficult conversations? Are you able to not get defensive anytime somebody says something that you don't
that
like?
goes back into emotional intelligence.
Yes.
I value emotional intelligence incredibly high.
But it's
you brought up defensive, like, and I bring this up to the room, like, how many people are confident enough to be able to take the communication we talk about. Like we talk about, communication is important. Can you take it from your significant other when they communicate to you shit that they're not liking without getting sensitive?
Well,
It depends on how
one
well
thing
you
with the
know yourself.
communication-
Let me say this real quick. I think the people that are able to do that the best are the people that understand themselves and are not shaken by something negative that somebody has to say about them.
Self-confidence.
If somebody has something super negative, like if you have something super negative to say about me, I'm not gonna get defenses. I'm gonna hear you out, and whether I agree or disagree, I'm gonna think about what about my behavior rubs you a certain type of way, and then I'm gonna work with you to figure out, okay, where's the happy medium? It's always now being open enough and being comfortable enough within yourself to think, I'm not changing who I am. I'm not giving you power by just conceding. Yeah, like I talk a lot of shit, I fuck up a lot, I do a lot of shit, I make mistakes, and I own my shit, and I'm comfortable with it because I'm comfortable with who I am. That shit ain't fucking regular, and that's why you have such a high level of defensiveness, because people are always trying to prove, no, I'm not, no, I didn't. And it's like, once you fall into people feel how they feel, and once you embrace like other people's feelings, it ain't personal, it's perspective. Sorry, I got to cut you off.
I forgot.
Okay.
I
So
forgot.
I think that getting defensive is oftentimes delivered as the person who delivered the information's problem. It's like you delivered information to me, and now you made me defensive. What I'll say for me is that
Manipulation.
is that I learned that I don't get defensive very easily. But in a past relationship, I did find myself getting defensive when I was provided feedback. And in the moment, I'm just like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, you just saying shit that don't make sense. Da-da-da-da. But then after I thought about it, I had to sit down and this is the emotional intelligence piece. Feeling defensive is my feeling, not her feeling. What is happening within me that's making me feel defensive because of what she's saying? Is what she's saying right, and that's why I'm being defensive? Is something going on in our relationship that makes me feel not safe and not value her opinion? What's causing me to feel like I should be defensive by this? Because I'm not a defensive person. You can come to me and tell me, people give me feedback all the time. Like, okay, cool, like I'll do it.
You're direct as shit, and you deliver messages
direct,
that
and
way.
I'll tell people real quick, like, oh, you got a red couch? That's a stupid couch. Go get another couch. Like, I'll let you know real quick, and I don't expect people to feel defensive by me.
Right.
And I would tell them, why are you feeling defensive? Like, that's my opinion. That's my that's my experience and my feeling. But when I begin feeling defensive, instead of passing blame, which is what we oftentimes do, especially as men, because men are prideful, think to myself, why do I feel defensive? What is going on with me that's making what this person is saying to me make me feel defensive about it?
It's a reaction to
He cooking
trauma.
over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to Casey and JoJo. Not the singer, not Jodeci.
Oh, okay.
Our people.
Keith and Joanna Crowder, just because what I'm about to say, came from them. But it's about mirrors. like you're with people and the way they react to you, the way they bring stuff up to you, they're mirrors to your own insecurities. And it's very, very difficult to realize that.
Yes.
Like it takes a long time. It took me a long time to realize, why do I always get defensive when you know my wife brings this up, or why am I always feeling this way when you know this comes up? It's a mirror. It's the universe basically through that other individual showing me what I still need to work on. I'm not there yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we get sensitive. That's why we get upset at shit like that, because you know we haven't healed it yet. And until we do, the same shit's going to reiterate. It's going to continue to regurgitate the same shit over and over.
And now you can add a deeper layer to it and say, am I emotionally intelligent? Have I been emotionally intelligent enough to know that mirror, those insecurities exist through that mirror? And have I, and this is not me shifting blame, but have I tried to have conversations with that person about the mirror and my conversation been rejected? And so now I'm in a position where I no longer feel safe in talking about that. So now I feel extra defensive because I don't have any outlet.
That's what it is.
And then that starts the cycle. So
Yes.
then it's the same argument. Okay, person says something, you get defensive, somebody else gets defensive, then the shutdown, and then you never get anywhere, which brings me back to my original point of people understanding what the fuck it takes to make a relationship work.
Well, every relationship is different too.
True.
So every relationship isn't going to take the same things to make them work.
But I think every okay, well I shouldn't say every. I try not to speak in absolutes, but I do think every relationship does have to have a certain level of communication to where you guys speak on the same level, or you have to have that trust to know, okay, we on the same side. I feel whatever this person is saying, I feel terrible. Like this shit is making me feel like shit. But I care about this person. I love this person. I know that this person is not trying to hurt me. So let me put my fucking ego to the side. All right. You know, first of all, it's hard as shit to do that shit in the midst of an argument. I don't know. It's like 2% of the world that can do it. But even after the fact, though, can you take that information, think about it, and then come back with the follow-up? Some people, I think, will take that information, they'll think about it, and they'll internalize it. But if it's a relationship and you want a person to feel like you're listening to them, you got to follow up and circle back and say, yo, all right, you just act like a fucking asshole the other day, everything that you said. I ain't like how you said it. Your face, I ain't like your face when you said it. I didn't like your tone.
But do you think that will
you
put
made
somebody
sense.
on the defensive, you coming like that, though?
Like what?
Okay, so this is what I was going to say 15 minutes ago before I fucking
it back.
forgot. With communication comes understanding.
Word.
Yes.
So motherfuckers can talk about shit. They could talk about shit.
Yes.
But if there's no understanding as to, we're not getting points across. We just fucking talking. We're just spitting in the wind at that point.
Which brings me back to the point I made whenever the fuck I made it, agree to disagree. Okay? I agree to disagree with you. However, I respect what you're saying and I'm gonna be conscious of it. I don't have to agree with somebody's opinion to be conscious of their feelings.
Right.
I'm gonna reel that. That was fire.
That was
Fucking fire.
he called
Was
his own
fire.
reel, people.
I called my own
This
reel.
motherfucker called his own reel.
I tried to look at the camera and say it again, but I forgot what I said,
Backboard.
so I can't.
I think that
Oh shit! What time? Oh shit! It is.
No, go.
Oh,
Whatever, you go.
I think that you. Oh man, I'm losing my train of thought. now.
That's fine because
Oh,
we're.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I was about to wrap this shit up. We went over. We cooking.
Okay, go ahead. Because
Well,
I forgot it.
All right, so I wanted to talk about what it's like to be a single male. We not getting there. So
We
more
don't
importantly,
have the time.
no, we don't have time. So we got something for you as a guest of the show. But go ahead and plug your. Let me give you one. Let me give you your tequila bottles. I want you to go ahead.
You gonna drop it?
Plug
Plug it. Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
drop it.
Hey, man, look right into that camera, bro.
Okay. All right. I don't really know how to. I can't hold both. Okay.
Damn, bro. And still speaking to Mike.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So this is Casa de Reyes tequila, the smoothest reposado you're gonna have, one of the smoothest blancos you're gonna have. And right now we're available online for purchase. You can follow us at Casa de Reyes Tequila on Instagram. That's how you can purchase our products online, and we should be in Texas pretty soon. So keep a lookout for us.
Hell yeah.
Right on.
Hell yeah. Yes.
I want to
Yeah.
take a second. I want to salute you. Maybe I don't remember how many. It was a couple years ago. You, Alan, Dakota, when you guys were talking about doing a tequila, doing your own liquor, I was like, damn, these motherfuckers trying to do their own liquor.
Right.
And I've been watching ever since, and it's been amazing to see y'all like have an idea, put the work in to bring the idea to life, and now y'all motherfuckers about to put some shit in stores, and it's super smooth. I've been telling everybody this shit's amazing, so I can't wait till it really gets in the stores and we can actually get drunk like we are. So you just look at them,
Yeah.
soberies.
Yeah.
So breeze.
So
well.
this is for you, my man.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You know,
I was just showing that off today.
Sky art, everybody.
lucid
Hell fucking yeah.
skyart.com.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But
Beautiful.
Present this to you, sir. Thank you. Let me get back.
What's more beautiful than the motherfucking
Let
sky?
me get back to the mic.
Yeah.
Yo, thank you for coming through. And obviously, we're gonna do it. We got another part 2 coming. I would have to say because
let's
we
do some
got
last words.
we got to
Do
get
some
into
last
some
words.
shit. So, let's kick the last words to definition first.
We was kind of like all over the place on the cool.
We were.
I think one of the most important key things about relationships is really knowing yourself and not getting lost in the sauce and all that shit, and remain true to yourself because it's easy to get lost in a motherfucking relationship.
Bars.
That's it.
Bars.
What do you want to leave us with?
I think that for any relationship to be successful, you just have to learn to accept everybody for who they are, and take your own responsibilities. And that includes men, because we have a hard time doing it. But we got to take responsibility for our actions as well. And yeah, that's what I got to leave you with.
Yeah, that's fire. RL?
Shit. When it comes to relationships, it's about you.
He got the best relationship.
Keep it basic. You know what I mean? Don't make this shit too complicated. It's very basic. You know what I'm saying? Ask yourself this simple question: does this person, bring the betterment out of me, or are they the detriment of me? And if they don't make you the best version of yourself, they don't help you become the best version of yourself, then that's not the right person for you. That's a tough thing to swallow sometimes, but it's true, because at the end of the day, it don't matter how many bad relationships you've been in, the common denominator is what? Is you.
Ooh.
So, work on yourself, build yourself up to the point where those red flags pop up a lot earlier, you know what I'm saying? And then if it's not working for you, keep it moving.
Oh, that's fire. Will you hand me that? I feel like whatever my final words. I just want to have my picture here when I do it, so make sure you see it. It will be one of us that would drop it.
Right, that's why I'm trying to be extra careful.
It will be one of us
Extra
that would drop
careful.
it. You know what I'm saying?
And move my leg, make sure it ain't in the frame and shit.
Flexing on my friend.
Look like Peyton Hillis on this one.
I mean, I think my final words are I enjoyed the conversation, but just relationships it's the hardest shit on the fucking planet. Hey, there are tons of things that make relationships incredibly hard. Most of us have not had an example, like a real life example, to understand what you're doing, right. And understand like loving someone. I don't want to say loving someone more than yourself, but the work that it takes to be able to love someone enough to, no matter what, always be conscious of their feelings, to always remain into a position to where you're thinking about, all right, how am I behaving? Like, am I being defensive? Am I just acting crazy because I'm not getting none? You know, like what?
Right.
I threw that out there for all
It's a thing.
you know, but
It's a real thing.
Cancer moment.
people are hey, they been shitting on the Kansas today.
Right,
Man. I don't know.
right,
Like Kansas ain't that emotional, but I think I just want to trace it back to something you were saying earlier. It's important to understand yourself, because when you understand yourself, you can kind of point out when you're behaving outside of your character. And most of the times, you know why. That shit's work, especially if your significant other isn't doing the same. So what it comes back to, though, is you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for yourself.
Yep.
And I want to elaborate on that. Like, why are you doing it? I want to elaborate on that because it sounds like Hallmark-ish, kind of corny-ish.
That shit sound like
But
some church, bro.
It's a reality.
You're doing that shit for yourself, at the end of the day, it can lead to confidence. It leads to security because all of us innately, we want to do the right thing unless you're just a fucking asshole. But at the end of the day, like, you don't want to feel like you did somebody wrong, or you should, whether it's a friend, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a child. That's a whole nother thing when you realize, like, your kids is in therapy talking about you and shit. Like, it's inevitable.
Right.
It's inevitable. All of us is fucking our kids up. It don't matter how,
Yeah.
you know, but just taking a concept like that, just taking a concept like that. But when you're secure in yourself and you know, I did everything I could to be a good parent, you're open to hearing their feelings, because at the end of the day, it's all just feelings. And my closing statement is just be conscious of another motherfucker's feelings. Watercolors is the name of this.
Oh, shit.
I've been naming my shit now.
Is it written on the back or no?
Now that, everybody,
Yeah,
is a
and I
dope
signed
name.
it. I dated it. I signed it. I did everything the right way. You know what's oh, there's some funny shit. Is like, you know, I plan on giving this to a guest every episode, but everybody ain't getting that expensive ass frame. It was expensive. I think
appreciate it.
I'm just gonna give out pictures. No disrespect to anybody. Don't get a nice expensive frame. Yo, anyway.
Shout out.
All right, let's get ready to end this thing. You want to close it? Like, you let me run this whole show.
Man.
You want me to close this shit out?
Close it out, bro.
Yo, Monroe, thank you for coming through. Definition is
having
all.
me.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. Definition, it's always a pleasure. You know what I'm saying?
Always.
You came through repping the Oak Cliff, looking young,
my
fly,
hood.
flashy, and fresh. You know what
Right
I'm
on.
saying? And RL, like, you know, I respect you for just giving up the mic. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you just got to give up the mic. And when you know mic number 2, be coming with some fire sometimes. Sometimes you got to give him mic number
man.
1.
You know what I'm saying? I'll come back with the bars in the next episode. You
Most
know what I'm saying?
definitely.
Drop a hot 50 on them.
Can I just say we out? Said it. We out.
Peace.